Hello, Sim here. So, you enjoying Black Ops 3? You guys have been tweeting me and dropping comments going, hey Sim, you got some setup tips, you got some network connection tips. Come on, we want that video. It's like, now? Okay, so I'm going to cover obviously some connection stuff. I'm also going to tell you how to know whether you're on a dedicated server or not. No special hardware or software required. The game does tell you in a crafty, cheeky way. Yes, coming soon, I tell you. And I'm also going to share with you some PlayStation 4 and Xbox One stats from the gaming world perspective, because some of you will be last gen and probably thinking, it's time to bite the bullet and buy a new console. And these stats may influence your decision, and it may not, but I thought I'd share it with you anyway. Remember, it's early days. I expect it to get better on all platforms. Interestingly enough, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 both received firmware updates today. Very interesting indeed. Obviously, I'm going to recap the basic fundamental networking stuff and some NetDoomer specific settings. So the background gameplay you're seeing should be demonstrating some sort of laggy gameplay, deliberately so, because hey, you guys have probably experienced it too, and it happens on both the Xbox One and the PS4. Now, starting off with the most important thing, the loading screen. Yes, wait for that number in the top right hand corner to change. Not only is it downloading special client code updates for your console, but it's also connecting to the various dedicated servers. Yes, it goes and does its talking and handshaking and whatever else it does. And here's the screenshots that demonstrate this. So the Xbox One, you can see all of that and it looks fairly familiar. PlayStation 4 seems to be a bit more erratic at the moment on its connections and which dedicated servers it's going to talk to. I couldn't get a consistent picture. Very strange indeed. So, how do you know if you're going to be gaming on a dedicated server? Now, you guys would have all seen this and commented on this. I went, wow, that number in the right hand corner has got an E. Wait a minute, that right hand number in the top corner's lost its E. What's going on? Well, guess what? The E means you're going to be gaming on a dedicated server. Yes, I know, because I can see what's going on the NetDoomer because it tells me by the yellow circles. Interesting stuff to bear in mind. And let me know if you guys feel the same way, because you'll suddenly see it should be gaming better for you. But obviously, if you're connecting to a dedicated server the other side of the world, it might not be so. Anyway, let's move on to statistics. Stats. Yes, for 6.5 hours approximately on both consoles of gameplay. Xbox One, I had a KD of 1.1, a win-loss of 1 and a score per minute of 252. A fairly high accuracy too, and ICR was 22%. And we got 19%, and the shotgun 107%. And those of you guys who have seen my live comms for the shotguns, that was all Xbox One. Moving on to the PlayStation 4, I have a KD of 1.31, a win-loss of 1.41, and an SPM of 293. Accuracy totally unknown. There's just no stats for weapons at this point in time. And remember, it's early days, and I expect it to get better for all platforms. So if I move on how to improve your gaming setup, so to speak, from a multiplayer universe type perspective, you got to do the fundamentals of do not game on Wi-Fi. No wireless. You need Ethernet cables. You need a wired connection. And if you don't fancy trawling a Ethernet cable from one room up the stairs, around another door and all that stuff to your gaming machine, don't forget there's also these things called power line adapters. So you plug your Ethernet cable in from your router into a plug type thing, and you plug it into the wall, and then you've got your other plug, power line adapter, plug the Ethernet cable into that, and plug that into your gaming machine, and hey presto, you're now on a wire connection. Remember to make sure that you have an open NAT, so UPnP enabled on your router. You don't, generally you don't need port forwarding unless you have a very basic router, and regularly reboot that router, once a week. Give it a spring clean and then you'll get good gaming experience. So what about those of you who are on the NetDoomer? Pretty much I'm running with the standard settings that I've always done and demonstrated and walked you through on my various videos. The geo region is the standard one for me in the UK, but I had to include Ireland on the Xbox One or I couldn't get any games at all. Those of you who've been following me through the Advanced Warfare Fun and Games will know that Ireland dedicated server is a bit, laggy would most people describe it as, because it appears to be a overloaded server and therefore it's inducing lag Not via, poor network connections, but it's just overload and it's not responding in a timely manner, inducing appearance of lag. So the more important thing, the thing that's going to make that sort of noticeable thing to you, certainly has for me anyway, is where you use the congestion control. Remember that I have an 80 meg down and a 20 meg upload. On the PS4, reactive is always the way to go, and I've had a setting about 80%. It works well for me. Xbox One, I use preemptive, I use a 60%. And yeah, it's worked well for generally on the whole, on average, for gaming in solo and gaming in parties. So as always, I hope you guys found that sort of information useful. I'd love to know what your experiences are, so go and share them with me in the comments down below. And to stay in touch with my latest videos, go and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, this has been Sim.